What up, comic book fam? Welcome back to Comic Book Circumstances. It's June 30th, a Wednesday, and it's New Comic Book Day. Let's go. Anytime I get to thinking that it's a light week, I get in the shop and I make sure that it's not a light week. I've got a problem, but I'm having a hell of a time. All right, starting off with DC this week, we've got Catwoman Annual, 2021 Annual. I have been buying Catwoman because I love these Jenny Frison covers that have been coming out for them. So I've been buying them strictly for the cover. But since I bought 3 in a row, I figured I'd start reading this one. And Robbie over at Pop Culture Philosophers said that if you're reading Catwoman, then you want to get the reveals that are in this one. So I went ahead and purchased this one. I do plan to get to reading Catwoman at some point here in the near future. Moving on to Boom Studios, I didn't get anything this week from Boom, which is crazy. I think that might be the first time I'm pretty sure that is the first time that's ever happened since I started doing these videos. But I did pick up a back issue of Something is Killing the Children number 10. My local shop still has a few of these left. I started to go ahead and buy all of them. I really don't need all of them, so I went ahead and just bought one. But if there's one still there next week, I'll probably buy that bad boy too. I don't think that Something is Killing the Children is coming back down. I think all of the issues have high ceiling potential, so I felt like it was worth it to go ahead and grab 10, which is a little harder to find. 11 up to now seems to be pretty easy to find, but right when you get to 10, that's when it becomes difficult to get Something is Killing the Children issues. So I went ahead and grabbed this one for that reason. All right, coming up to Marvel, we've got Daredevil number 31. Chip Zdarsky continues his story with Elektra out in the world wearing the Daredevil suit, and Daredevil, or Matt Murdock, chilling in jail, refusing to leave, being offered chances to leave and not leaving. I agree with everyone, Chip. I'm tired of Matt Murdock being in jail. It's time to bust out of jail. Let's get back to kicking some butt here. Next up, we've got Eternals number 5. Now, I've been doing some work learning about the Eternals, getting ready for the upcoming movie that should be pretty big in the MCU coming this November. So I've been reading old Eternal stuff as well as the new one that's come out. I'm liking this one. Thanos is playing a large role in it and real interested to see what this guy is up to. So I'm enjoying this one, looking forward to what's next. Also very much looking forward to that movie this fall. Can't wait to see how that one shakes out. All right, still with Marvel, we've got Black Knight number 4. I really like this cover right here. It's a pretty nice cover. And I'm somewhat lost in the story of Black Knight and what's exactly going on, but I'm interested in it. Again, going back to the Eternals movie that's coming out this fall. We've got Kit Harington from Game of Thrones playing Dane Whitman, who is the Black Knight, and I'm real interested to see how that goes down. He is signed on for multiple movies, so I figured I'd do some Black Knight homework and get in on this series. Next up, we've got Beta Ray Bill number 4. I'm enjoying this story of Beta Ray Bill trying to get his hammer back so that he can be beautiful again and not be rejected by Sif. If you read that first issue where he gets rejected by Sif, man, it was brutal. Really brought you in into feeling for him and wanting him to get this problem solved so he can get back to getting busy with Sif, because Sif is a pretty good looking woman. So I'm interested in this one, enjoying this one. Can't wait to see what happens. Next up is Shang-Chi number 2. Now, I will admit I bought the first one, but it hasn't risen to the top of my reading list. Sometimes I'm a little slow on reading these things because I really enjoy binging on them rather than waiting week to week, because I feel like I do a much better job of absorbing the story. A lot of times when you have to wait a month for the next piece, I really got to go back and read the previous one to really get my bearings on what's going on. So rather than doing that, I like to sometimes just wait. And this is one of those that I've been waiting on. I did the same thing with Silk, ended up really enjoying that one. I'm doing it with Shang-Chi. I'm eventually going to get this one. I'm probably going to go ahead and buy one more before I sit down and read this one, but we'll see. I always like to have some reading ahead of me. I hate being done. I hate being caught up because it's depressing as hell to me to not have anything to look forward to. So for that reason, I kind of take my time on some of these things. All right, next up we've got Amazing Spider-Man Giant Size #1. Nick Spencer finishing out his run. Not many folks are feeling it. I'm not exactly feeling it either, although I kind of enjoyed some of the more recent issues more than the previous ones. I am somewhat interested in this Teresa Parker story and whether or not she's a clone, so I've had some mild interest with it. We'll see how this one goes. I'm not sure though. All right, that's it for Marvel. Now we've got Image Comics. First up is going to be Vinyl #1. Now this is one that came out last week, but I passed on it. And after getting online after New Comic Book Day and consuming everything that you guys have to say through the Facebook groups that I'm in, as well as the YouTube channels that I follow, everybody was reviewing this one, enjoying this one about kind of an investigating story. And I was interested in what they had to say about it. So I figured I'd jump in when I saw this one on the shelf still. Still with Image, we got Two Moons #5 by John Arcudi, not sure how to say that. But I'm enjoying this story about a Native American caught up in the Civil War, initially fighting for the Union side, then some things happen. He ends up on the Confederate side, some more things happen, and now he's kind of on his own side. But he's dealing with his past, his Native American past that he's kind of suppressed as he's tried to, assimilate himself into this new American culture. But the demons from that past are coming to the surface, and he's no longer able to deny that past. And we're seeing him kind of, come to terms with that and deal with it. And I'm finding it to be an interesting story in terms of the demons that he can see and where this one may go. Plus, it's based in the Civil War, which is a piece of our history that I find fascinating. So real interested in this one, looking forward to reading that. So we've got my #1 pick of the week from the man, the legend, the #1 guy doing it right now, King James Tynion IV. Long live the king. Loving everything that he does, and I'm loving Department of Truth. Looking forward to this story, bringing Bigfoot, that conspiracy theory into the fold. Excited to see how that works out. And then I had to pick up that B cover for McCarty. Love that style. One of my top covers of the week. It's beautiful. Glad to have it in my collection. All right, and last up from Image Comics, we've got the Todd Father, Todd McFarlane, coming in with Spawn 319. Now I am loving Spawn. I'm loving the Spawn's universe. I'm excited about everything that's going on. And I'm excited that this book is still $2.99, the only book that's out there. And bonus this week, if you checked out the covers to this, we've got a much better cardstock cover. So he's upgraded the book while keeping the price at $2.99. You gotta love that. And for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and buy multiple copies this week. I got the cover A here from Jorn Barnes, probably butchered that, sorry for that, but this is a great cover. I actually did not have this one on my top 10 list, but when I looked at my homie Mike Spiderslayer's top 10 list, he had this one at #1. And while it's not my #1, I really took a look at it at that point and really appreciated the beauty of this one, of it showing Violator transforming into that, from the clown form to his monster form. It's a great cover. And I'm happy that Mike Spiderslayer opened my eyes to it, and glad to have it in my collection. I also picked up the McFarlane cover. I've been trying to do that every week. I love McFarlane. I love the Todd Father. I love what he does for the comic book community. I love that he's selling us a great book for $2.99. So I'm trying to show my appreciation for all that, buying his covers as well. And it's a great cover, man. I can't be mad about that one at all. And then we've got the Matina cover, cover C. This one, my cover of the week. If you take out all the exclusives, all ratio incentives, this pops in at #1 for me. Loving that style, loving the look of Spawn reaching out and the color scheme for it. It's just I know it's not everybody else's number one, but this bad boy is hitting for me. Love it. All right, moving on to Fantagraphics, we've got Ed Piskor coming in with Red Room #2. Now, I love this cover, but the number one reason I love this cover is that green, my favorite cover. You don't see a lot of green out here in the covers, so I really appreciate that. We're getting the introduction of Poker Face in this one. This one's a tough one. Definitely not for everyone. This is sort of a torture, hostile movie, if you ever saw that movie kind of thing, where people are torturing folks for fun and entertainment. So you definitely need to go to your local mosque, your local church, your local synagogue after reading this one and pray to God for forgiveness, because you're absolutely a sinner for reading this bad boy. But I'm right there with you. Interested to see what Ed Piskor does with this one. And it's just crazy that he's doing it all himself. He's writing it and drawing it. Pretty amazing talent from that one. And my local shop had that 1 in 10 incentive cover for ratio price, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one. I like that bad boy. Happy to add it to my list. I actually passed on the 1 in 25 for number one, and I still regret it. I really wish I would have picked it up, so I didn't hesitate when I saw this one sitting there. All right, next up we've got Behemoth. You Promised Me Darkness #3. I'm still getting my bearings on this one, but I'm interested to see what's going on, how it's going to shake out. This one feels like Vanilla Sky in that it's posing and building interesting questions, but if we get to the end like Vanilla Sky and the answers to those questions are kind of dumb, then I probably won't like this one. But if the answers are awesome and interesting, then I think I'm going to definitely be putting this one at the top of my list in terms of reads. But that one's still up in the air. We'll see how it goes. And then still with the independents from Vault, we've got Barbaric #1. Now this one was not on my radar, but I was going through YouTube consuming comic book content, because that's what I do with my free time now. I used to spend all day watching the news, and it really wore me out, and I started looking for ways to replace that kind of addiction. And that's right around the time that I found this comic book addiction, and I found this amazing, beautiful comic book community, and that I just love watching and being a part of and jumping in live streams with. I just have a blast with it, because I don't have anybody around me that's really into comic books. All my friends, they couldn't care less about these things that I get ridiculously excited about. So it's nice to have y'all online to get on and enjoy this and share this excitement with, so I don't feel like such a damn weirdo. Because you know, when you're sitting here excited about this cover from Francisco Mattina and you want to talk to your friends about it, but you know damn well they don't give a shit. I really appreciate having y'all, because I know y'all give a shit. All right, last on this list from this week from Dark Horse Comics, I went ahead and jumped in on Parasomnia #1. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on with this. I watched the review from Robbie over at Pop Culture Philosophers. He read it, and he didn't know what was going on with it either. But I still went ahead and jumped in. I respect Cullen Bunn's work. I read Basilisk #1. I really enjoyed it, so I figured I'd give this one a go as well. And then Cullen Bunn is going to be here in August at the Kansas City Comic-Con, so I might be able to jump in there, maybe get a Basilisk or this Parasomnia signed from him, and maybe get to interact with him. Really looking forward to that. I have never done the Comic-Con thing. I just got back into comics this year, and obviously Comic-Cons are just now coming back after COVID. So this will be my first opportunity to jump in here in August, and I really can't wait to get there. We've got Cullen Bunn that's gonna be there, and then the other big comic book guy is gonna be Skottie Young. I know he will be there as well. Those are the guys that I really know. There's a bunch more than that I don't know. But I'm hoping to get myself a Skottie Young signature and a Cullen Bunn signature. Really looking forward to that. Hit me up in the comments if you're gonna be at Kansas City Comic Con. I've been debating whether or not I want to buy one day or if I want to go all in, take off work and go all 3 days. Haven't decided on that because I don't know that any of my friends are gonna go. And if they do go, they're definitely not gonna be into it like me. So if I could get some real comic book friends that are going to hang out with, that would be dope. Let me know in the comments below. I'm so serious, man, because I might end up going by myself if none of the homies wanna come with me. All right, that is my haul for the week of June 30th, 2021. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. And as always, let me know what was your read of the week and what was your cover of the week. I'm always interested in what y'all got to say. Like I said, being a part of this comic book community is one of the big things that drew me back into this obsession, and I'm really excited to be here. So if you made it this far, go ahead and hook me up with that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out this channel. And that's all I got for you. Until next time, peace, comic book fam.